Welcome to part 14, skincare ingredients. Remember, the first 5 rule isn't always the most important consideration, however. There are many essential oils that can be extremely potent in very small doses. A great example is our sponsor Glow's signature oils, baobab, marula, Kalahari melon seed oil, and finally, liquid royal jelly. None of these oils would be appropriate to be listed in concentrations that would be included in the first 5 ingredients. Therefore, many high potency and performance-based active ingredients and essential oils and skincare products are not listed within the top 5 ingredients, nor do they have to be in the top 5 to have a positive or significant impact on the skin. Here are some of the manufacturing costs that ingredients have that drive skincare prices either up or down. The cost of ingredients is first. The cost of ingredients contained in a product contribute to a baseline pricing of any skincare product. Some of the ingredients are difficult to procure and harvest, and of course this increases manufacturing costs. But just because a product actually has an ingredient in it that doesn't mean that the product's going to be more effective because of that. On the other hand, some ingredients that are difficult to get and harvest are indeed highly effective in certain skincare products, especially with certain skin types. When looking at ingredients, please refer to the product and ingredients section of your skincare coaching certification materials for more information on this, as well as the ingredients to note. On this important topic area, it's great to get a high level of education. As a high-integrity skincare coach, try to recommend products from brands that put a premium on integrity. A brand that cares about things like values, the chances are they're going to put a lot of effort into ensuring their products are well formulated. Now let's talk about concentration. Many experts agree that a primary price consideration is the concentration of certain ingredients in the formula. As an example, a higher priced serum will typically have a higher concentration of active or effective ingredients than a lower priced drugstore competitor. It's important to keep in mind that there are many reasonably priced moisturizers that will have the same helpful and effective active ingredients as their expensive cousins, for example. The issue is that a product probably won't contain as much of a percentage by volume as those that are effectively a little bit higher in the price point. This doesn't mean that all inexpensive products are bad, though. Now let's discuss efficacy. Efficacy is the maximum effect that a product can produce regardless of dose. Some brands share ingredient percentages as part of their unique selling position in the marketplace, so they have an edge over competitors. This doesn't mean that the product will necessarily have a better value or be more effective or have a better result, as the ingredient percentages are not the only element in efficacy. If somebody says to you, ingredient X is only effective at such and such percentage, that's not always an accurate statement. Please note that most companies choose not to disclose percentages as they make up proprietary formulas that are part of their intellectual property. Additionally, for the client's goals, their skin may not need a high concentration of an ingredient for the results that they want. They might be better off using something less intense to get the full benefits of an ingredient. In fact, for some ingredients, your skin can't even absorb higher percentages, making them redundant and a waste of money. Now let's talk about potency. Potency is the amount of an ingredient that's needed to produce a given effect. In skincare products, potency is the measure of an ingredient's activity expressed in terms of the amount required to produce an effect of a given intensity. A highly potent ingredient evokes a given response at a certain concentration, while an ingredient of lower potency evokes the same response only at higher concentrations. Although many skincare products claim to have highly effective and beneficial ingredients in their formulas, the amount of those ingredients, unfortunately, might not actually make a difference for your skin. It really depends on how potent the formulas are. The active or beneficial ingredients may be so minimal that your skin won't even get enough of it to make a turnaround or have anti-aging results, for example. You have to remember that a product's marketing might specifically highlight a key ingredient as a marketing ploy. But if you turn the label around, you'll find that the ingredient is all the way down near the bottom of the ingredient list. It's important to remember that there are many ingredients where a small amount has enough potency to deliver big results, though. The key is to look at the ingredient that you research and look at the appropriate order at the appropriate percentage in the product for the goals and results that you're trying to achieve. Here's an analogy that you can use to explain what potency is to your clients. Think of ingredients that are potent but in lower concentrations can make a real difference in results. Imagine that you're preparing a spaghetti with a homemade sauce for a dinner party. The recipe calls for anchovies and crushed peppers, but your friend forgot to give you the exact amounts. They said, just add to taste. Because this isn't your first time cooking, you understand that each of these ingredients will have a significant effect on your sauce depending on how much you put into the pot. Anchovies in excess might make the dish too salty or too fishy tasting, but not have the effect of hotness on the dish. However, too much crushed pepper, that might burn people's tongues. This is exactly the same potency principle in skincare products. Adding to the confusion of what potency is correct is this, that even if they're listed on the labels that they were guaranteed to be the real deal, you can't assume that the product boasting the highest concentration is the most effective one. There are a few reasons why opting for higher percentages of an active ingredient isn't the best way to decide whether or not a product will give your clients the results they're looking for. Just consider this. Sometimes too much of an ingredient can actually be really bad, especially if somebody's allergic or sensitive to a particular ingredient. Sometimes the product mix isn't right. We'll talk about more of this later. So what would a coaching conversation where high potency might not be warranted? What would that sound like? Well, Jennifer, high potency is not always necessary in skincare. This is a discussion that we have to have. When your skin is generally in good shape like yours is, and because you're not targeting any specific issues right now like deep wrinkles, uneven skin tone, or hyperpigmentation, then there really isn't a need for you to splurge on high potency ingredients to address that. You can actually go with a serum, for example, that still has these ingredients in it, but at a lower strength until you need them a little bit later in life. Additionally, the potency and quality of clinical products can vary and ingredients can vary. So it's really important to understand which ones will be effective for you and your particular concerns as you go through the years. Now let's talk about active ingredients. When an ingredient percentage is shown under the table or on a label or named as an active ingredient, it refers to any ingredient that the FDA considers to be a drug. Active ingredients are those that do the real job of helping the skincare product do what it's supposed to do. For active ingredients, all skincare manufacturers are required to follow specific guidelines in labeling and packaging. The best example of this is for sunscreen protection or prescription grade topicals or cosmeceuticals. One of the ways to figure out what's important to the marketing department for products like this is to look at what they've highlighted on the product label.